You've been part of the joining community for quite some years now. What is it about the joining that attracts you?
The main thing about the joining is the community and the people. I didn't really know many people when I first got there the first time, and I've met so many people, and I just feel like I'm a part of that community now, and very rich and nourished by all of that.
You've been doing our video marketing, and now that it's your turn on the other side of the lens,
Yeah.
what can you tell people about the joining?
Well, people ask me what is the joining, and I try to keep it simple because it's such a personal experience, but it's just about a gathering of people who choose to come together and celebrate life and celebrate relationships and relating and experiencing each other and experiencing being a woman and being a man. Fantastic food, amazing workshops.
Well, the joining is all about the discovering the harmonious balance of the masculine and feminine.
There we go, that's it.
And
Yeah.
that's internally as well as externally in our relationship. So how have you grown using those principles?
Okay, cool. I've grown a lot in that I understand relationships and my role as a woman in relationship, and understanding the dynamics of the masculine and the feminine a lot better. I listen to David Data audios a lot, and that's helped me completely change my life for the better. But it's one thing to listen, but it's another thing to apply things practically. So the joining community and the joining gathering gives me an opportunity to experience the David Data work in physical reality and in my relationships. And we have David Data workshops there with the Living Love people as well, which I just love. They're my favourite workshops. And the ceremony, like there's a lot of ceremony at the joining which really honours masculine and feminine, and that's really powerful and really beautiful and really nourishing, because it helps me really dive deep into being a woman and recognise also when I'm in my masculine as a woman as well, and vice versa for the men. I'm sure that happens for them as well. And even the roles of how we all work with the joining, I apply my feminine colour and creation to how I contribute to the community through what I do with the video work and marketing and stuff like that. So yeah, it's been beautiful, and I've got lots of beautiful healthy relationships with gorgeous sisters and beautiful brothers.
So the joining is more than simply a 3-day gathering at the equinox in September. It's also about building community. So how has your community built or expanded since you've been a part of the joining?
For the first time in my life, I feel like I have my community, and I have real community. And I'm involved with a lot of communities, online communities, Byron Bay communities. I'm involved with now a community in Bali, with the yoga community. But joining gathering is like my family. I see them more as my family. And because we're in touch with each other all the time, we're doing things with each other all the time. We experience our lives with each other. Some of the people in the joining are customers of mine. I'm their customer. I've had close relationships with some of them, like great girlfriends, and partnerships with them.
So you've been networking well with conscious people in the community.
And we know that we have a shared value system. I think that's one of the important things, is that shared value system, is that we value our relationships and we value being conscious.
So how have your relationships changed, say, with the men? What are the men like who come to the joining compared to men you might generally meet in daily life?
It seems to me that all the people who come to the joining are much more willing to really explore who they are, and explore what's available to them to make life better and richer and juicier and happier and healthier and more fruitious. And the men have a better understanding of what it is to be a man, and how women are. Like, the women and the men understand each other better, and how we work together to complement each other and collaborate with each other harmoniously and in a complementary sense. And that's really good, because there's this whole myth that goes on in society of the gender wars, And, you know, I see things that people make jokes about, like, you know, you need a rule book this big to understand a woman. Well, no, you don't. Women are complex and colourful, and that's the beauty of them. And men can be, you know, simple and empty and vast, and they love their caves. Great, like, what a perfect combination. It's designed to go together.
Indeed.
So I love that we all know about that in joining, or most of us do, and then the new people come in, they start to understand that better, and that supports us in having healthier, conscious relationships rather than what the system has taught us. You know, with this fairy tale romance and all these crazy notions we get in our heads. Like, I mean, I've had to deprogram myself completely and reprogram with the correct program to feel peace and joy in my life.
Well, how is we talk about the masculine and the feminine internally as well, and you're a woman who's been in business for many years, and business tends to be a very masculine environment. So since you've been for joining, how have you managed to be more feminine in that case?
Well, actually, now I think about it, 2 or 3 years ago, I was working in a financial capacity. I had a financial business, and I gave it away because I wasn't enjoying it. And part of that was because I started waking up to my sovereign rights. But part of it was that it was just so masculine and so head-based, and I didn't realise it at the time, but I wasn't being creative enough. And that as a woman, I'm trained as a dressmaker and a photographer, and that I wasn't exercising those creative aspects, which is very much a feminine attribute. So, and I actually started my video blogging and video marketing career with the job. So for me now, I've become more creative, I've become more feminized, I can surrender more as a woman and allow more masculine to do their thing, you know, and I've calmed down a lot. And I feel safer, and I feel more nourished and more nurtured, and less that I have to be the doer and the, you know, and like I go there and I watch the guys putting up the venue, and it's so beautiful to watch. And then we come in and, you know, the women are a little bit more involved with like making the venue beautiful, or involved with the cooking and the kitchen and that sort of stuff. So,
Debbie, what would you say to somebody considering coming to the joining for the first time?
I would say, if you feel like you want to experience something new in your life, that is more heart-based and that makes life feel more rich and more real. If there's something, come along. If there's something that doesn't feel right in your life, that you feel like something's missing, or something you don't understand, like this is kind of like a missing piece of the puzzle of living in community and relating with people. So come along. If you want to just come and experience beautiful relationships and beautiful people and see what it feels like to actually be open and safe and held and loved within a community, that's just like the whole weekend is like everybody holding up. You walk through the venue and everybody's hugging everybody all the time. It's beautiful. And if you want to have an insight into like ceremony, which is a really important aspect of life which we've forgotten, come. The ceremony is amazing.